Hi, this is Coach Dave with the Academy out of Sunny Breeze. I'm here with Master Teacher Professional and PGA member Terry Adams. Terry's going to work today a little bit on how we line up so we hit the ball where we want to go. You've worked with a lot of students. What do you find is the biggest issue in terms of alignment?
Well, one thing I find is that they don't get an intermediate target. And so what happens is they don't get behind the ball, before they start. So by getting behind the ball back here, the best place to aim is from behind something. So we know when you're watching golf on television, you're seeing these tour players, you always see that they're starting, from behind the ball. What do you think, Dave?
Sounds perfect to me. Show us how you...
In the fairway, you want to start back here. You want to form this imaginary line from the ball to where you want to go. Remembering that the tee box doesn't always be is not parallel with the fairway, some of the designs, and that's what can really throw you off when you're on course. So by picking a spot in front of you 2 to 3 feet, a piece of grass, a dandelion, a divot, you can always use that. It's always easier to aim at something that's 2 or 3 feet away than it would be like 100 yards or more. Do it. And one of the routines that I always really loved about seeing how alignment works is to watch Greg Norman. Greg Norman was probably the best at setup pre-swing than I've ever seen. And when he would step in with his right foot first, so this was sitting down so that the leading edge is sort of at right angles to the imaginary line. And he would always get set up around his work, making sure that the club was relatively flat and at right angles to the target line, and then step in, getting his body pretty much parallel to that line. So keeping it simple, you want to get behind the ball, form that imaginary line from the ball to the target, or I want you to experiment also with looking out there to the target and then forming the line back to the ball.
So what is it that you're aiming? Your body or the club?
The club face.
Okay. Great
point. One of the things that we see a lot of is that we see people, putting clubs, down like this and then trying to aim their body at the target. And one of the terms that I use in my teaching is that your body is parallel left to the target. Very important to know, and I really try to get students to do this a lot, is that it's way more important to have your eyes and your shoulders relatively parallel to your target line than it is the feet. We see a lot of people that play golf a little bit open with the feet, and that's fine. Okay? We don't see very many players that play wide open, with the shoulders and the neck and the head. And now this alignment thing you can see from this position really starts to affect, the in-swing and all its, all the domino effect that's going to happen after you set up. So aiming can have a big effect on the in-swing. One, your body never aims at the target. They become a lot more conscious of the fact that the only thing that we're looking to do is actually take this club face and see that club face is pointing down the line rather than the body. Which is kind of slow down here a little bit because this is such a big habit amongst amateur golf. If you get back here and you close your left eye, and I've had students, by the way, that can't close just one eye, so we'll get you some tape if we have to. But we stand here and we just close the left eye and stick our right arm through the ball at our target, whether it be 5, 10, 50, 100, 2, whatever yards away, and then we just pull up the left arm parallel to the right. Then open both eyes. And then we can really see that the club face is pointing at the target and the body is parallel like railroad tracks. The tracks never do this. I find that the worse the player is, the more they stare at the ball and they glance at the target. But if you watch a good player, they'll always stare at the target and basically glance at the ball. Here, we're trying to get you more out there. You know, what's happening out there when you're aiming. And by picking that intermediate target, you have confidence, and confidence, you know, allows you to build a good routine and feel comfortable, you know, with your swing.
The first fundamental are the connections. The connection to the ground, which is your posture and your stance. The connection to the golf club, which is your grip, and the connection to the target. I've always thought those as one skill set. That one affects the other, and it just keeps this big circle going. So next week, what I'd like to do is spend a little time on how you get ready to aim. What is it you do first? Do you grip the club first, or do you set up first? Personally, I'm a grip guy.
Great question.
So next week we'll get together. Let's work on that. What I'd like you to do before we go is just act as if you're going to hit a ball out there. Get yourself into a nice setup. Show us your routine, and just.
One of the things I learned about the routine is that it's the bridge that ties you between the practice range and the playing field. So the only thing I'm thinking about when I go to play is routine and target. That's it. So one of the things that David Cook taught me was that, one, I've got to visualize. So from back here, the first thing I do is visualize what I'm going to do from back here and form that target line, and then get that intermediate target. So visualize intermediate target, stand to the handle, cleansing breath, and then we're off. So it's that simple. It doesn't have to be complicated, but we notice that in all great players, we see 4 things in the routine. 1, visualize. 2, intermediate target. 3, cleansing breath. And then 4, some kind of little motion to get you started, so it isn't such a static game. Thank you very much, Dave.
Excellent job. Excellent job.
Appreciate it.
I like it.
Yeah.